Welcome back to Perfection Hangover, a space for women who are tired of chasing perfection and ready to build a life that actually feels livable. Round here, we don't believe in starting over every Monday or fixing ourselves to be worthy of peace. We believe in small, intentional choices that meet us right where we are. In this episode, we're talking about habits. This isn't another self-improvement strategy, but a gentler way to rebuild trust with yourself, one ordinary moment at a time. These conversations are for the woman who wants change, but also wants grace. The woman who's learning that transformation doesn't come from doing more, but from attaching what matters to the life she's already living. Let's take a deep breath, settle in, and start right here. Now, lately I've been sitting with something that really opened my eyes. I've been reading Atomic Habits by James Clear, and I also listened to an episode of Diary of a CEO that completely reframed the way that I think about goals, the way I think about discipline and self-care too. And it reminded me of this really simple but powerful truth. The life we want isn't built in big dramatic moments. It's built in tiny repeated choices. We're taught to focus so much on goals. Lose the weight, get organized, heal, grow, fix everything. And goals are fine. Goals give us direction, but they don't actually change how we live day to day. Habits do. James Clear talks about how you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. And that hit me hard because I realized I had goals I genuinely cared about, but my daily habits weren't fully aligned to the woman I said I wanted to become. As perfectionists, this is where we often get stuck. We either go all in or not at all. We think it has to be extreme to count. Perfect, right? And that mindset quietly keeps us frozen. One of the most mind-blowing ideas I came across was this: getting just 1% better every day. 1% is so minuscule, it doesn't sound like anything at all. But compounded over a year, that's 37 times better. Not because you did something massive, but because you stayed consistent. That feels gentle to me, sustainable, doable. It's not about overhauling your life, but what's one small choice today that future me would thank me for? Sounds cheesy, but it's true. I started asking myself a simple question. When is the most productive time of my day? Before everything gets hectic and you start getting interrupted. Before everyone needs something from me. For me, it's first thing in the morning. That's when my brain is clear, my energy's higher, at least after a cup of coffee, and I'm not reacting to everyone else just yet. Then I ask myself another question. What's the one thing that I keep pushing off until the very end of the week? The thing that makes it hard for me to enjoy my weekend. For me, with work, it's administrative stuff. It's updating my Salesforce CRM for work. It always turns into this looming task that follows me all week long and ruins my Friday. So instead of avoiding it, I committed to something really small. 15 minutes every morning. I call it the first 15. It's the most important 15 minutes of my workday because it sets the tone that I've already accomplished something before the day even got going. It's not about the length of time. It's about the identity it reinforces. I'm someone who handles what matters. I'm someone who doesn't avoid the hard thing. And that 15 minutes compounds into peace, clarity, and momentum. Around the same time, I had to get honest about my mornings in general. On the surface, nothing looked wrong. I would wake up, lounge around, scroll a little bit through my phone, easing into the day. But when I really paid attention, I realized I was starting my mornings consuming instead of caring for myself. I wasn't lazy. I wasn't unmotivated. I was unintentionally training my brain to put myself last. And when I shifted that, even slightly, everything felt different, more grounded, more present, more regulated. Not because I did something big, this massive thing, but because I did something intentional. There's an analogy that I love about habits that I heard about on that episode of Diary of a CEO. It's about a wolf. When it enters a new territory, it feels unfamiliar, uncomfortable, not quite like itself yet. That's how new habits feel in the beginning. Writing every day, podcasting consistently, starting something new, it does not feel natural at first. But after repetition, something shifts. That territory becomes familiar. It becomes yours. Eventually, it becomes part of who you are. That's when the habits stick, when they become identity. Case in point, podcasting. Today, I have a podcast. As people ask me, they'll say, "What do you do for fun?" "Oh, I have a podcast." But as I continue building habits around consistently publishing, I don't just have a podcast anymore. I am a podcaster. That shift from I'm trying to this is who I am changes everything. This reminded me actually of the Fly Lady. If you remember her from years ago, she didn't tell people to deep clean her entire house. She built a system around tiny habits. She told people to shine their sink before they went to bed, put on real shoes in the morning, first thing. And what's wild is even now, I still remember those habits. That's the power of small, repeatable actions. Here's something that can feel uncomfortable but empowering at the same time. Your current habits are perfectly designed to give you the life that you're living right now. That's not shame, that's information. If habits built this life, then habits can build a different one too. This applies to our routines, but it also applies to our relationships. The people we're closest to deeply affect our habits, our finances, our time management, our health, our self-care. Those relationships can be some of the biggest wins of our lives and some of the most debilitating mistakes. The real question is, how do we elevate each other without hurting each other in the process? Because what doesn't work is nagging. Are you going to the gym today? Are you sure you want to eat that? You really should save more money. That's not motivating. It's demoralizing. I think we've all experienced that at one point or another, and it breeds resentment. Saver and spender dynamics are real, and people receive critique very differently. But when growth becomes a shared habit, a challenge you do together, everything changes. It's so much easier to do something with a friend or a partner. You either rise to the level of the people you spend time with, or you sink to it. Now let that sink in. If you can be a part of the reason someone rises, that's a win. So here's the challenge I want to invite you into. For the next 7 days, identify the thing that you always avoid. It could be work-related, personal, health, whatever. The task that hangs over your head, the thing that ruins your peace. It could be as simple as folding and putting away laundry every day, or going to the gym because you don't know quite how to use the equipment yet and you're uncomfortable. Now commit to just 15 minutes a day. First thing in the morning, before distractions, before excuses. Call it the first 15. Trademark, perfection hangover. You don't have to finish it. You just have to show up. Let those 15 minutes prove to you that you're someone who follows through. Some examples to get you thinking. If you want to get stronger, but you don't know your way around the gym, commit to walking on the treadmill every day for 15 minutes and just observing. You can learn so much, and eventually, at the 16-minute mark, you'll jump off the treadmill and move to the dumbbells or start with lunges. If you're like me and hate the administrative part of your day, start with it. Read and respond to emails first thing in the morning. Update Salesforce with the previous day's activities. See how that changes your workflow. You don't need a new personality. You don't need more discipline. You don't need a total life reset. You just need one small habit that supports the woman that you're becoming. 1% today. That's it. If this episode resonated with you, share it with a friend you want to rise with. And remember, tiny habits done consistently build a life that feels steadier, calmer, and more like home. I'll see you next time.